welcome again. The UCD Lachlan Quinn School of Business is the undergraduate area within the UCD College of Business. UCD has 6 constituent colleges. The College of Business is one of the largest ones, and we have 2 campuses, one in Belfield, and also our graduate programs are delivered in our Blackrock campus. So on the left-hand side of the screen there, we have a little bit of detail about the undergraduate area. We have 2,400 degree students spread across 5 programs. And our students come from a range of different areas within Ireland, within Dublin, and further afield. We have approximately at this point in time around 13% international students. But we also have a significant number of students who come and join us on exchange. So every semester we have around 200 students joining us from across the globe. So we are a very big, robust international school. Our 5 degree programs, and I know Emily might touch on this a little bit later, we have a range of pathways that students can join. Of course, you can apply direct entry into UCD, but we also have articulation pathways, and our longest standing articulation pathway, or our foundation pathway, is through study group. And I think we have a number of study group colleagues joining us today. So we have an international foundation program, which is based in Dublin on campus in UCD, which provides a really flexible entry pathway into our Bachelor of Commerce and our BSc Business program. And along with that as well, in our international area, we have a range of collaborative programs, 2+2 programs, 1+3 programs, which add very much to our international emphasis and focus here. And I'm just highlighting the graduate school because within the College of Business, we have undergraduate education, full-time and part-time, and overseas in our footprint in Singapore. And then our graduate programs are delivered, as I mentioned, at the Michael Smurfit Graduate School, and we have over 22 master's programs on offer. And a number of our students, particularly our international students, continue their education through from the Quinn School to graduate school, the Michael Smurfit Graduate School, when they complete with us here. And just a little bit more about the school and the important elements and important decision-making when you're deciding to invest and continue your education overseas. You want to be assured that the place that you're going to is of solid reputation and ranking. The UCD Quinn School of Business is within the top 1% of business schools globally. And that is something that we work very, very hard on. We work to meet various accreditations and rankings globally, and we take it very much as a mark of our excellence and our reputation. And to put that in context, there's only around 125 business schools globally that have this triple crown of accreditation, and that is American level accreditation, European level accreditation, and graduate level accreditation. So it's something we're very proud of and always like to bring to attention. Our outstanding graduate outcomes, and Emily will speak about that. I've mentioned 99% of students within further study or in employment 6 months after graduation. The figure is in the high 70s for those in employment. Right now, the economy in Dublin is very robust, so a lot of students choose to continue straight to employment and perhaps come back to graduate programs in a number of years' time. But there's many, many options for students on graduation. And part of the options that we offer within our program as well is a 1-year paid internship, and that particularly focuses in on the BSc Business program, our Economics and Finance program, and our Bachelor of Commerce program, because one of the things that we really place an emphasis on within the school is putting knowledge into action. So students have 2 years of study within the school, take that learning and apply it in a corporate and business context. And we found that program, that 1-year program, to be transformative for students and their experience, and particularly their learning when they return to classroom in final year. We've mentioned that we are very much a global classroom, 13% international students, but then a wealth of students joining us for a semester or a full year on exchange. And our world-class facilities, which we're very proud of, and I'll highlight in a slide later on just to show you some of the facilities we have in the Quinn School. But again, a final point on our rankings and reputation. UCD, of which we are very much part of, is ranked number 118 in the global top universities. And again, for context, 118 is a very high number out of 25,000 to 50,000 universities globally. So something the university works on. The ranking comes from a range of metrics. It comes from students, it comes from faculty research, reputation, corporate engagement, all these things that UCD places an emphasis on, along with sustainability. And in recent rankings, we are ranked number 44 globally for our sustainability focus in UCD. So we will share these with you afterwards as well, but you can see here that we have within the top 150 for our subject areas for business and management and accounting and finance, which is our main focus of education here in the Quinn School. And as I mentioned, sometimes it's better to see than to describe. So here is just a quick view of the Quinn School. On the top left-hand corner of the screen here, we have a picture of one of our largest lecture theatres. And this photograph is actually taken from our orientation session in first year, where we welcome in 322 students into this room, and we do a range of welcomes and meet and greets for our eager first year students. On the right-hand side is just our main atrium, and our flags represent the areas that our students are coming from. And we have students coming from over 40 different countries in the Quinn School of Business. Across the bottom here, you can see students just in different areas across the school. We have lots of flexible learning spaces. We have open spaces for group work, and we have smaller nooks and crannies for independent study. So we cater to lots of different learning styles and preferences, and lots of different ways for students to engage outside of classroom. So moving on to talk about the programs that we offer. So since 1908, we have offered our Bachelor of Commerce program. That is our heritage program. It has been on offer for a very long time, and we have a significant number of global alumni who've come through this program. It is either a 3-year or a 4-year program, depending on whether students choose to do a 1-year internship. It is generalist in nature. In its first and second year, students take a range of modules across all the business disciplines that we offer within the College of Business. So marketing, finance, accounting, management, HRM, economics. So a range of disciplines in first year and second year. And then by final year, there's the opportunity to focus study into the area of particular interest. So students might choose to do a range of accounting modules in final year, or they might decide to combine with accounting and finance. It really is up to students. And that's determined by a range of factors, including students' preference, things that they find interesting or more engaging across first year and second year, but also informed by global opportunities, exchanges they may have been part of, an internship placement that might have really become something that they want to focus on and deepen studies in final year. So it's a very, very flexible program. As is our newest program, which is the BSc Business program, which started in 2020. It is a sister program to the Bachelor of Commerce, but really with a focus and a lens on a global market. So the opportunities are very similar to the Bachelor of Commerce, and I know that Mary's going to talk about it more in depth, but one of the lens and the strands in this program is about intercultural competencies and communications. So that is the differentiating factor between the BSc Business and the Bachelor of Commerce, but the opportunities remain very similar. For those that are interested in pursuing language and business, we offer the Bachelor of Commerce International Program, which is 4 years of business education with combined business and language. And the 3rd year of study, students will be abroad studying in their host country language. And the languages on offer are German, Italian, Spanish, French, and Chinese. So students study in UCD 2 years and then 1 year abroad. So it allows some degree of specialization, but we have to bear in mind that it is a combination program of business and language. The 4th program that we want to mention today is our Economics and Finance program, which is a quantitative finance program and very specialist in nature. It is very competitive entry, a very popular program. We take in maybe 75 students every year. A similar structure, 2 years of study within UCD, 1 year in optional internship, and a final year specialist study on return to the Quinn School of Business. So the focus on this really is on quantitative analysis. So first year and second year are very much based on financial maths, underpinning further learning with quantitative techniques. So it is a very robust program, and for those who have a strong interest and aptitude for maths is how I would define it. And then our final program to mention is our Business and Law program, which is a joint program with the UCD Sutherland School of Law. It is 4 years of study and is a combined major between business and law. So it is a little bit less optionality. Students have to take a combined subject area of business business and law for 3 years, and then by final year, they have the option to specialize a little bit more in business or law, but you can't drop either area because it is a double major program. And across all these programs, and this really is just a whirlwind tour of the programs, across all these programs, there are embedded opportunities. The internships I've mentioned, global study abroad I've mentioned, all of them include an exchange opportunity. An exchange isn't the only global opportunity that we offer within the Quinn School. We have a range of short programs. We have international engagement opportunities like the Model United Nations in Harvard or New York. We have short insert weeks. On the bottom left-hand corner there is a photo taken from us in March when we brought students to the American University in Cairo for an immersion week. And we aim to pepper programs with lots of opportunities, not just a full semester. And our breadth and reach of global partners is between 70 and 100 partners, and we're part of a range of global networks, including PIM, SEMS, a range of networks that broadens our stretch and reach of partners. So we're always looking for something new and engaging to offer students, and this is just a small snapshot of those opportunities. So as we continue, I'm going to hand over to Mary, and Mary is going to talk us through a little bit more in depth the BSc Business Programme.
Hi, thanks so much, Aoife, for that introduction. So, so I'm the academic director of the BSc Business, which is a very special program at Quinn. So, as Aoife mentioned, there's a focus on developing these real-world business skills with a focus on intercultural competencies. So, it is especially fantastic for students that have a real interest in international management. Now, that said, it's also a very flexible program. So, I'll just give you a little bit of an overview of the structure now. Just a little glance, a whirlwind tour, as Aoife said, of the degree. So it's a 3-year degree. Now it is 3 years unless you choose to do the optional internship program, which Emily is going to talk about in a couple of minutes, which is a fantastic opportunity. You'll also have an optional trimester abroad in year 2. Again, fantastic opportunity to travel and develop those intercultural competencies. And one of the really distinguishing features of the BSc Business is that you have these intercultural modules where you will develop those skills for a more global focus. So some of the subjects that you'll be covering will be things like global business, global operations and supply chain management, strategy, of course. And our students have gone into careers in areas like management and consultancy, HR management, marketing, a really, really wide range of possibilities when you finish the degree. So I'll just give you a brief overview of what the structure is like. In the first 2 years, the real focus is just building a really strong foundation in these core competencies. You'll have some electives, but the main focus is just developing these really key skills. So you'll be doing modules in areas like maths for business and business law, digital business, financial accounting, but you will also be doing these special modules that are unique to the BSc Business. So in your first year, for example, you'll take a module in exploring your host country. So in this module, you literally explore Dublin and Ireland and local organizations as well. So really getting a stronger sense of the environment here. And then in your second year, you'll also learn more of your intercultural competencies and about global workplaces, and also about specifically business in the EU. Now, so that's the first 2 years, right? So those are just building those foundational skills. Now, when you get to your third year, you'll have the option for a paid internship, which again, Emily is going to discuss that a little bit more. But again, this is an option. So if you choose to make it a 3-year degree, you'll go straight to the final stage. Now, this is where you really get to design your own program. So you have these core modules, like you'll have business strategy and you'll develop a personal portfolio, but you'll have a huge range of options to choose from to tailor your learning. So you might choose to stay a generalist, so to take a range of modules in different areas to develop a broader skill set. You might choose to focus on modules that are relating to global business specifically, but previously we've had students that wanted to focus on finance or accounting or HR, and they were able to choose modules to serve those needs. So I'll just give you a brief overview of some of the the modules that you might get to choose from. So we're very lucky in the Quinn School of Business that we have a really strong set of expertise in our faculty in a really wide range of areas. So you'll have a choice of over 70 modules in things like HRM, global marketing, leadership and change management. And if your interests are outside of the business school, there are also some modules that you'll be able to choose from there. So previously students have had an interest in real estate, for example, and they've been able to choose some modules that were outside of the College of Business. But what I want to talk to you now about is just a little bit about the learning environment that is in Quinn, because I think it's something that's very special. So I am, of course, academic director, but I also teach. And Quinn School of Business is, I think, very unique in that we have there are some fantastic new facilities which are amazing for active learning. But I think what is really special about it is that your instructors make a really substantial effort to connect what you learn in the classroom to the world outside, right? So for example, I use a lot of business simulations and case studies so that my students can immediately see the relevance of what they're learning. So they learn the theory, but apply it immediately so that they can see how it's practiced, right? I have a fantastic colleague who teaches negotiations, who gets her students to negotiate against AI, to do external consultancy projects, and even has had students coach external organizations through large purchases, right? So by doing this, students can very quickly see the relevance of what they're learning, but it also helps that learning to stick. And of course, given the rapidly changing world that we are in these days, we also have a strong emphasis on transferable skills like critical thinking and problem solving. So things that will really help you to deal with the world we have today, to be globally engaged citizens, but also to problem solve in a rapidly changing environment. So just to then finish up, we also have this fantastic opportunity to do an exchange in the spring term of your second year. Now, something to note about this that's special is that these are English-speaking exchanges. So students have gone to countries like Belgium, like Australia, Singapore. And the thing about this that distinguishes it from some of the other programs is that you don't need to have an additional language. And again, it's a fantastic opportunity to develop those intercultural skills, but it's also just a great opportunity and experience in general. So we also, as I've mentioned, have an internship opportunity that is a one-year paid placement that is an option for you in your third year. And I'm going to hand over to Emily now, who's going to tell you about that in a bit more detail.
Thank you so much, Mary. That was a wonderful overview of our BSc Business program. So let's see, before we get into our career supports, I am going to speak with you a little bit about our scholarships that are available to students. So once you apply, and submit your application. Sorry, could we just go to the scholarship side? Great. So once you apply, our global centers will assess your applications, and if you are granted an offer to come study with us in the School of Business, your application will also be assessed for an international student scholarship. So these scholarships are worth 3,000 to 7,000 euros off your tuition each year. So now I'm going to go on and speak about our career supports. So within the Quinn School of Business, it is very important for us to set our students up for success. And this begins in stage 1, when the students enter the school in their first year of studies. So during that first year, we have a program that we call Quinn Sites, which involve insight days to the headquarters of some of our partnering employers. So students on these days go and visit the offices, they attend presentations, they connect and network with alumni there who are working at these offices and learn more about what it's like to work in some of these environments. In stage 2, we have an alumni mentoring program that's available to students. So students are paired with an alum who is a mentor, and they meet up several times over the course of a year and go over career guidance. The mentors will check their CVs, they'll provide mock interviews, or just, again, tell them more about what it's like to be in the working world. Also in stage 2, students can apply to go on our London finance study trip. So this is similar to our Quinn Sites program, but students go to the offices of some of the large financial firms in London for a few days. Then in stage 3, we of course have our internship program, which you've heard a little bit about. I'll tell you more about that in a moment, in a few slides. But I'd also like to highlight our UCD Career Network. So we have a separate careers office here on campus that's dedicated to helping students, again, prepare for their career after graduation. We also have a very robust business alumni network. We have more than 91,000 business alumni located in 143 countries all over the world. So no matter where you end up after graduation, you can be assured that you're not too far away from another alum. And finally, within the school, we also have careers fairs and employer talks throughout the year. There's always something going on within the school. So I'll just show you a few more images on our next slide from some of our Quinn Sites days and our recent London finance consulting trip that happened back in August. So for our Quinn Sites days this year, some of the students visited the offices of AIB and Vodafone and Apple Green, and in previous years they went to Microsoft. So those are just a few images for you. So we'll go on to our internship program. So the internship program, as you've heard, is a year-long paid work placement. All of the placements are fully paid, and the average salary this year was about 25,000 to 30,000 euro per annum. So this year you can see 275 students participated in the program with 77 different employers, and most of these employers are returning employers, which speaks to the success of the program. The employers see this as a good recruitment tool, and a lot of the students can receive graduate job offers upon the successful completion of the internship. I will mention that we have reduced the fee rate for the internship year for international students. So yes, in order to make this a more accessible program for everyone, we've reduced the fee by about 75%. So for international students, normally you would have to pay 22,000 euro in tuition each year. Before the internship year, students will pay between 5,000 and 6,000 for that year. So you can also see some of our top internship employers from this year include PwC, KPMG, Deloitte, EY, and KKR. And I've spoken with quite a few students who have come back from their internship, and they all are so much more confident. You can tell that this experience does so much for their personal and professional development. So it's no wonder that with all of these career supports that we provide to students, that we have exceptional graduate outcomes within the school. In fact, according to our most recent graduate survey, 99% of our graduates from the Quinn School of Business were able to secure employment or go on to further education within the first 6 months of graduation. And UCD itself is ranked #1 in Ireland for employment outcomes. So I'll just show you a snapshot of the class of 2025 here. So these students graduated just a few months ago, but you can see they're already in employment or they've gone on to further education. So Timmy, our first student here on this slide here, is one of our panelists you'll hear from in a minute, but he studied commerce and he is now in Microsoft. Actually, he completed an internship with Microsoft and they offered him a graduate job offer. So we'll come back to Timmy in a minute. Neve here is from the United States, and she studied BSc Business. She's now working for Disney. Xander Dean Zhao studied Economics and Finance, and he's the founder of an AI startup called Athena. Kanishta here studied Commerce, and now she's working in Deloitte in Ireland. Sergey from Russia studied Commerce as well, and he's now studying MSc Finance in the Smurfit School of Business. And finally, Yiling here is from China, and she studied Economics and Finance and is now studying at Trinity for her master's in Statistics and Sustainability. So you can see the students end up in a variety of places after graduation. On our next slide, I'll just show you some of our top 10 employers from this year, which include, again, KPMG, PwC, EY, Deloitte, Grant Thornton. So those are some of the big professional firms, but also if you look on the left side of the slide here, we also have employers including Google, Amazon, Apple Green, and the central bank